Welcome to the 5th episode of this 2025 video podcast for Milestones, the countdown. We are reaching the halfway mark of the season, and we have a very special guest with us. I always say our guests are special, but Carlos Checa, for me, you're also very special because, yes, we are a Formula 4 podcast, but motorsport is motorsport, and it doesn't matter how many wheels you put on a vehicle as long as you're racing it. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming with us. I know that you're very busy, so we appreciate that you have some time for us.
No, it's a pleasure. We're looking forward to find this moment finally arrive.
So, Carlos, first of all, how are you doing? How is your life after active or full-time racing going? I think you keep yourself very busy because I know that you're doing a job similar to mine, commentating races.
Yeah, I didn't expect after racing, or I don't know how it's called in English, the jubilación, how you call that?
Yeah, retirement.
Retirement was so intensive. But anyway, it's plenty of things positive and funny and things I really enjoy. Actually, last month I've been in Germany for one event for Yamaha, then I went one event in France with my brother, MotoGP Legends. Also, classic event was also special and nice. And last week in Italy for Giro d'Italia, I like cycling as well. And I has been invited for one reason or for the other, but this is not normal, eh? But now I was in Formula 1 actually this weekend. Mm-hmm. I'm consulant in Circuit of Catalunya and working together also with Marc Gené. In the council in the circuit, and then we collaborate and try to give our best inputs for the events and for the organization. And for the rest, I work in the TV, some races, MotoGP, commentating. And then I like to have my time to do sports, like skiing winter, cycling, still riding motorbike, spend time with friends as a normal person that I want to enjoy time.
Not too bad, you keep yourself busy. How do you like commentating races? Because now you see things from the other side.
Yeah.
Did you gain a bit more respect for those who commentated on your races back in the day?
Yeah, for sure. When you are a rider, you have one short vision, no? But when you are in commentating, you understand about more things are involved, and you are in the other side, no? Then you have much more information about the organization, what means to be there, no? Mm-hmm. Become the main, no? But then you realize how much important is your position there, no? You don't realize when you are racing. Then for sure give me other vision, even more value than what I did in my past when I was rider. And then for me, sure, give me more rich meaning that my riding and my past when I was rider, no? For sure it's a good experience because I'm learning a lot about everything and I feel very proud when I was rider, knowing now what means everything. Then it's quite positive for me when commentating and also I enjoy at the same time. I'm not doing all races. I do a few.
I know, yeah.
This means that also it's not
too
really
stressful,
busy.
let's say. Yeah.
Not at all.
But I have to say, I think you show this mindset that motorsport is very special because even after you retire, you found your way to continue involved.
Yeah.
So what is it that makes motorsport so addictive, maybe?
Yeah, sure, it's the speed and the competition. Always like the speed. It's a lot of adrenaline and a lot of emotion. When I go skiing, when I go cycling, when I was very young with roller, I like to be fast. Then the first time I test the motorbike, give me really, really strong feeling. Then this what give me my best input, no? And then I practice, and finally had the opportunity to do some small races in my village. Then become a little bit more bigger championship, like a Spanish championship, Catalonia championship, and then it's a long story, but arriving to the world championship, no? But for sure, the the emotion you get with the speed and the competition, against others, gives sense to my life. I don't know. I really love that. From the first time I was in the motorbike, I was a small bike in the village. My father bought me, and wow, I was like, I still remember that moment, and I really love that.
So that's what I was going to ask you, because you've been involved in motorsport in one way or another for over 35 years. That is a very long time. It's a lifetime in motorsport.
Yeah.
How do you look back on all of that? Of course, starting from that small bike in your village.
Yeah, for sure I start because I really enjoy. Competition, sometimes you don't enjoy.
It's normal, I think.
It's normal.
Yeah.
But it's a challenge. Then you have a goal, ambition, and you know that it's not going to be easy, but you try, and at the end, I get it. But for me, sure, if I born again, I will do the same. I try many different things on life, and what gives me more emotion, more sense to life, and more adrenaline. I feel more life because the competition and was the racing in a motorbike. Then anything in this area, I would like to repeat. But I don't know if we have a second opportunity. I don't think so.
Let's see.
So far, for me, if I look back, sure, I'm really proud. And really lucky. I feel really lucky to arrive and to get what I get and to live what I live. I will not change for anything else.
And as a rider, you had the chance to compete in the two biggest championships in the world, which is, of course, the World Championship in 500cc MotoGP, and then in World Superbike, where you even took the title once.
Yeah.
Proud of those achievements?
Yeah, not only that, I won the Suzuka 8 hours endurance. That also is a very, very special race. I will always remember. Then I work with many different manufacturers of tires, from Michelin, Bridgestone, Pirelli, Dunlop, Yamaha, Honda, Ducati, different teams in different countries. Then at the end, this gives you an experience, and a vision, and of course, to win at the end a Superbike, to be able also to race with the 500, and then to start to develop the 4-stroke in MotoGP. Then I live part of the history, of the racing motorbike.
And a very special period.
Yeah,
with very special bikes in both.
Yeah, starting from 80, went 1 to 5 to 50, then 500, and sure, I test many different. Also, when I won the title in Superbike, I won with between the two cylinders. Yep. That is not. It's something already is not anymore now. Then, I think I did a long time and many different bikes, different tires, different teams, and give me a knowledge and understanding about racing quite long from the beginning to the end. And I enjoy all the time. From the first time I test the motorbike, my father gave me in the village when I was very young, until I won the championship. That winning the championship gives sense everything. All the years we've been racing, we've been fighting. Sometimes we miss opportunity to achieve it in other moments for some mistakes, for some technical things. Anyway, at the end is many things together must go in the same way, and sometimes it's not like that. But anyway, winning in 2011 the World Championship was for me fantastic, because it was the only thing I was not able to achieve in the past.
That was the goal, and it was achieved. But I wanted to ask you, I know that this is a very broad question, very wide question, but how is life as a world-class rider? Because, of course, life is not the same if you are racing in MotoGP or if you are working in an office in Barcelona, for example. So how is life for Carlos Checa back in the day?
Yeah, for me, as I told you, it's fantastic. Was when you are able to work, or to, like the expression to work, the expression to do something that you really love, you really dream on it, This is fantastic. I think it's the main thing in life, no? To have a big ambition, or to have a dreams, to have a wish, and be able to carry on to catch it. I think this is the main thing. You can do motorbike, you can do other thing in life. And this was my wish, this was my dream, and I was able to every year to grow up, no, until I catch it. And this is fantastic, no? It's like dreaming, living a dream. And I cannot complain, I cannot say anything negative, because for me it has a perfect life. And when I stop is when you need to adapt, no, a little bit more, because when you are a racer, you have a calendar. Calendar is the races.
Yep.
You know, you start in February or March and finish in October, and then the winter is you try to work to be ready for the beginning, and then during the season to maintenance or to improve. There is more technical and mental aspects that you need to work on. But then everything in my life running around that calendar, and personal and professional, of course, and it's something I've been doing for more than 20 years. 20 years in the World Championship, but before already in European and Spanish Championship that I already try to approach in the best way possible. No, then from many years was like that, and for me the contrast was at the day I stopped. And was not anymore racing calendar, and
so much free time.
It's like, oh, the year is open, no, now. But anyway, at the end, is many things on, and it's not something that I'm getting bored or have no sense for me now. Completely the opposite. But yeah, this was my life in that moment, no, and everything running around there. But of course, also the racing motorbike. The good thing is that you have the calendar, but you have the testing. But during the week or many days a year or many months, you are quite free. Then you need to prepare, but you can go cycling.
You can organize it yourself.
You can go skiing. It's not a preparation that you need every day to do 8 hours of the same thing, like cycling, no?
Yep,
for example. Exactly. And this is the good thing of motorcycle. You have a really good emotion. The only negative is the traumatic when you crash. Sure. But the lifestyle is, for me, is, as I told you, I will not change for anything else.
So your contract back in the day allow you to do skiing? Because we know that in motorsport they say skiing is dangerous.
You know, it's very wide. You know, you can go long cross country.
Cross country, or
that is perfect. I had a house in south of France, in Pyrenees, and I like a lot, and I love to do skating. Ski de fons, I don't know in English exactly, but and then alpine ski, that you walk up and you go down skiing. Of course, then if you start to jump, to go really fast, then of course I won't. You know, at the end, I am the first and the main person who is interested in to be okay.
In not getting hurt. Yeah.
You know, when you arrive to World Championship, is because your career you have been doing the right things. And not stupid things during the winter. Of course, I had some accidents doing motocross. I had some accidents doing cycling, and this sometimes penalized me, no? But because during 25 years, it's not that. At the end, you cannot do. It's like a paradox, no? You cannot do risky sport when you are doing the most risky sport, you know.
Exactly.
But you know, at the end, you need to balance. Of course, in the contract, of course, we have a contract that say that you cannot do risky or you put in danger your physical and mental body to be ready for racing, but this is something obviously everyone knows. But if you're doing it that way, I think it's not a problem.
So, Carlos, you were mentioning now when we were speaking about the life as a World Championship rider, that of course you already approach the smaller classes with that mentality, like 80 and 125 and 250. So I think you can connect very well with also the Formula 4 drivers who are working with a smaller category, but they have the mind to reach maybe Formula 1 or maybe IndyCar or maybe a big category. So do you think you can connect with this idea of young drivers, you know, working towards the future? Was that similar for you as well? Or did you just think of, you know, the next race and then the one after that?
Well, I think there is similar things, no? Same ADN, that the passion, the ambition, and the effort to get that in this area, I think is the same. You adapt to wheels and asphalt or motocross or trail, whatever, and in car you adapt to four wheels, racetrack, rally, whatever, no? But you must be focused every day, and the ambition, I think, is the main thing, and the talent, of course. And the most important, especially in these years, and probably more in cars, is the opportunity. Because I see and I meet many good riders, but the talent without the opportunity go nowhere. And then this is the sport, motorsport, no? That at the other side is you need to have the opportunity.
There's that economic side.
And the economic side is not small. It's quite
no,
big.
it's not small at all.
It's amazing, no? Especially in car. Then I think it's a mix of together, no? You must be there, but also the opportunity must arrive.
And going back to you, because you took that opportunity and you had the opportunity to win in 500, you won races, and you were also, as we said, the champion in World Superbike. But some drivers and riders, 2 4 wheels, doesn't change much, but they say winning feels very short. The celebrations are very short, because as soon as you win, you have to start thinking or preparing for the next one. Did that feel that way for you, or did you take your time to celebrate?
I'm not agree on that, or I'm agree in some way, but I would like to look this in other way. I want to say, you will not able to win, never, if you are not doing the process. And then I think you need to satisfy for small wins, when you start racing. When I was on the streets with my motorbike, then the first time I go on the circuit, then the first time I did a Catalonia championship, the first time I get in a Spanish championship, and then, wow, you are in one race in European, and then you change class. And at the end, you are, the most important is when you go in front, no? You are growing up, you feel that you finish the season, and you are a better rider or better person together, many times come together. And if you feel that progress, I think you must be satisfied. And this is a victory, no? If you win a race because 10 are crashing, I don't know if it's a victory,
Probably not.
I think it's a kind of philosophy that you need to be satisfied with yourself, with the small achievements you are doing in your career, because if not, it can be very frustrating. If you are only enjoying the day you win, you are very poor. At the end, and you will not enjoy your life. Then winning is something very, very short, very, very unique. Sometimes you cannot achieve that. You can fight all your life and don't arrive there. Then that's why I'm thinking that you need to be really satisfied just to have the opportunity to be there. And if finally you can win, it's perfect, no? But if you can go out from this wall becoming better person and better rider, I think it's a victory. Then, of course, if not, I think it's so hard and so stressful, because the victory, I don't know, if you are able to win every year for many years, like Schumacher or maybe Valentino Rossi, or now it's Marquez. But I think also I know very well them, and they enjoy everything they're doing with a strong ambition. Of course, competition, as I told you, is not something nice, it's not a pleasure. It's very aggressive, it's very hard, but the satisfaction, I think, with yourself must be there every day.
So is that the key to being a world champion, being able to enjoy the big wins, but also the small wins, and take wins when, maybe others would not think it's a win, but if you think it's a win, that's okay? Is that the key to being a champion?
Yeah, I don't know the key. I think
one
it's
of the
different
keys.
different
yes.
doors.
You need a good machine, yes. You need talent, of course.
Yeah, no, but I mean, sometimes the approach for everyone, different doors, no, and arrive to the same room. And my approach to racing, especially now with the long career, is that you need to really enjoy what you're doing, because you must have the ambition to win, of course, must be there, and you must feel very shit if you don't. This is a competition, and I don't like my rivals in front of me. I want to beat them. And this is basic. This is the most important. But other thing is that you are not able to win from the first day, and you feel frustrating, no? I think you must be really smart to understand that to reach that point is long way. If you can make shorter, is better, and try to enjoy during this process, no? But you need to grow up, you need to learn, and sometimes it's not a question of yourself, no? It's a question of many things together, no? As we said before, the team, the bike, everything must be together. If you can reach that combination, it's perfect. But if not, it's so difficult, even if you are really, really strong, really, really good, no? Competition is not only one person, it's a team, and if you don't have, it's not everything good around you, then it's so difficult. Then you also need to be clever to understand your level, your possibility, and also to your weak points to work on that and become better.
And regarding that, of course, most of the people who are going to watch this podcast, they know motorsport very well, but I think there's a lot of people who don't really know just how hard it is to work as a driver or as a rider. You have to do a lot of physical training, you have to do a lot of mental training, and getting on top of one of these machines is not easy. This is not sitting on your scooter going to work every morning. This is a lot more. Do you think it's sometimes people have an unfair opinion of your riders because they think, oh, this is very easy, I could do it as well? Have you experienced that?
You can see riders with sport cars and nice women and having a nice life, no? But the sport is not a question of to be good, it's a question of winning. And when to be good, you can be good. But to win, to be the best, this is the difference. And sometimes you can do it, sometimes not. But to challenge to be the best is a very selective moment, very selective area, and you need to put there everything. It's not just a question of trying to do, you need to give your physical, your mental to that moment, and your ambition must be there every day, every moment, and you cannot relax on that. Because many of other people with a good talent, with the same ambition, want to do and want to achieve the same, no? But this is a competition, no? Is the good thing, and in your mind, even if your mind is always there, you can have some distractions during the day, but it's like when you want to win, when you want to beat the others, your full capacity, mental especially, is there every day, thinking how to do it, no? How to get it, how to improve, how to be better. Because if not, it's so difficult to. You cannot go in holidays and relax and forget about your goal, and then come back to the racing and be at the right level. No, I think is quite intense. It's nice, but quite intense. But at the same time, I will tell you that when you wish something, this is not, I don't know if hard, no? It's something that you really apassionate you, and you go for it, and you don't see any other thing that, and this is what, when you are in the right mood, no? You are in the right drive. When you need to provocate your emotions to be there, then it's maybe time to stop, no? Because it's an emotional sport. Then the emotions control you, push you, and motivate you, and this is what gives you the energy to go ahead. And for me, this is not a hard time, but because I really love it. But probably then you have the frustration or the satisfaction to get it or not get it, no? But at the same time, when, before I told you, you need to be able to have small victories, even if you are losing the race, you know?
True.
Then it's a kind of growing up yourself, no? Mentally. If not, it becomes then, the frustration is the worst. Then if you crash and you get injured, but it's to be good, to be positive, to be always ahead, and to win is very easy, but when you lose, it's the hard time for yourself to grow up. But this is the sport, no, in the competition, and is a different school.
So connecting a little bit more with the modern, let's say, modern riders, you spoke about how you want to beat your rivals, and you have to always give your best. And I keep thinking that in many ways you push your rivals and your rivals push you, and you make each other better. But this also makes the whole competition better. And when I look, for example, at MotoGP now or 500cc 30 years ago, it is a very different category. And of course, riders were very professional back then, but as you learn more collectively, I am surprised to see how professional some of these riders are when they are only 17 or 18 years old. Have you noticed that? Riders are like super professional very young.
In the motorsport, and especially in car, I don't know because I didn't follow, but I imagine more or less should be the same.
More or less, yeah, it's very similar.
But yeah, in motorcycle, yes. When I start in 14, 13 years old. Was not a school, was not a base here in this country to learn or to grow up. It was quite yourself, no? Quite about some friends, some mechanic. We go racing, and I go to school, and I start at that age, 12, 13. Now they start at 5, 6. They have psychologists, they have a trainer, they have gym.
And when they're 10 or 11 years old, they're going around Europe.
Professional teams, teams that they work in the same way that when I was arriving to 500, or MotoGP. Then, for sure, now is much more professional from the early times. And when I start riding bikes, because I enjoy, I didn't expect to be a racer and to compete in the World Championship. That was more than a dream. But the approach now from the sport, in many different sports that I know, is already much more focused to achieve a professional life. That for me was something I never thought about. But now it's more focused on that direction, but I think at the same time they enjoy less than when we start racing.
So you mentioned something very interesting when you were speaking about when you started. You just put a few friends together, one knows a bit of mechanic and all these things. And we had a guest who was saying that motorsport is probably a team sport where only one person does the sport. But it is still a team sport because you need such an amount of people who work with you to make that happen. How did you approach that part of racing? Because it's not, of course, it's not just the rider. You have your mechanics, your engineers, all the people back at the factory, all the PR. There's so many people working. I don't want to say for you because they're working with you. How was that?
Yeah, but one thing is clear. You go nowhere alone. Okay? Then the victory is from your family first. The people is around you, then your team, professional team, because at the end you must find a balance between mental balance, because this sport is mental. Motorsport, even motorcycle, and I imagine car even more, the emotional. Then your person, your mental must be in a perfect mood, balance, quiet, focus, and any distraction in personal and in professional on any problem can affect you in your performance. Then, of course, you need to work with your ability, with your team, with your motorbike. Probably motorbike, going back to your answer, your question, sorry. Before, probably the rider was more influent. Now is less. With all the technology, especially in MotoGP, superbike maybe a little bit less, but also all the technology is arriving, all classes. Probably the influence of the rider now is less than in the past. I don't know which percentage, but for sure now the motorbike is more difficult for a rider to do the difference, you can do it maybe 10 years ago.
So in that sense, it means the team is more important now,
Yeah,
of
the
course,
bike,
so you
the
need
motor-
to
the-
be able
yeah.
to.
The
exactly.
team or the bike, because, for example, in this moment, in the context, now Ducati is probably
Is
the best
dominating.
package.
But when we say team, of course, the bike
Yeah.
is designed by
Correctly.
a very good team
Yeah,
of people.
for example, now is Marc Marquez in the official team, his brother not in the team. Last year, Martin not in the official team, he won the title in a satellite team. But at the end, the motorbike is the same, and the people who work on, more or less, is more the confidence that maybe the rider can have in the crew chief mechanic and all the people around than maybe the understanding, because now the parameters and the setting finally you do
The computer helps you a lot.
it's very Polish, it's Polish a little bit, that the base of the bike you already have.
So, Carlos, of course, we talked a little bit about how riders work on many areas, and on the mental and on the physical. That's very important. But as with any sport, and especially with motorsport, injuries are a thing. The unfortunate thing is that in motorsport, injuries are very big. And you've had to deal with that. How does a rider or a driver, if it's car racing, deal with that process of recovery? Because if you're a football player, yes, sometimes some football players have big injuries, but sometimes you break a bone and in 1 month you're perfect. But you had very big situations in your career. How do you mentally deal with that recovery process, gaining the confidence again, being able to get that courage to race again as hard as you did before, which you did, so
Yeah.
you are in a very good position to talk about that.
Yeah, well, you need to accept the risk, one. Probably at the beginning, you
don't think that you get...
You don't think so much.
That's true.
Because when some people say, no, you don't have a scare. Of course, everyone have a scare. If not, will not be alive. Everyone have his own scares, no? Then you need to fight against that, to deal with that. And when you crash and you get injured, then you realize, okay, this is real, no?
Yeah.
And then first thing, you want to recover, just to do normal life. Second thing, then okay, we try to go back on the motorbike and try to compete again in the best condition as possible. If not, then maybe it's better not going. But you feel already when you are able or not. But the most important is the wish, the strong wish you have. When you wish, when you are very motivated to achieve something, all this happening, but you are able to be over, no? Because your wish is very strong. You must have a strong wish, a strong ambition to get that, no? And you will accept these moments. Then what you want is as soon as possible to be back again, and you fight and you work to recovery as soon as possible, no? Because you want to be back again on that. And this is the process. And of course, when you have more injury, you have more scares, and then you need to deal with that, no? And this is something with a long career that finally, okay, all this is damaging a little bit your emotions, no? Your wish. And finally, when you get old, and probably when you, at the end of your career, you lose a little bit that ambition, that strong ambition you have when you are very young. And then the scare, is in one box, and you don't see so much.
Come on.
Then it's growing up.
Yeah.
And it's when at the end, when you have more scares, more doubts, than motivation is the time maybe you need to stop, no? But at the beginning it's the opposite. And then when you crash, when you get injured, you don't care. You want to go be back, you don't think so much. Then sometimes when you are a strong injury, okay, you need to deal a little bit, and you need to negotiate, and you need to accept. And sometimes you need to say, okay, I can die, or even worse, have a strong injury, but I can accept that or not. If you don't accept, for sure will not give your best when you're on the motorbike.
True.
And in some way you need to accept that risk. And this is life, eh?
With everything, really.
Cycling
not just
in
with,
the road
exactly.
with friends, maybe this can happen again. But you feel that, no? Because you have the reality that told you that this can happen because you already crashed and maybe you almost die.
Or you see someone else.
Or you see some friend
Yeah.
in a wheelchair or die on the mother, and this gives you other reality, no? And this is a process, and it's not easy. For me, it was not easy at all, but makes you better.
But I think I was thinking you speak about, when you get older and then you stop, blah, blah, blah. But you didn't stop, really.
I mean, older in one sport career that is very short.
Of course.
Can be 5 years, can be 10,
yes.
but all happening very quickly.
Yes,
and you learn things that you will not learn in university.
You need to learn them
because
in
the
life.
Sport is different school.
No, but I meant in this sense, when you stop racing in Superbike, yes, you stopped, but soon enough you were finding yourself on a bike again, going right on a trail bike, and then eventually on four wheels on the Dakar.
Yeah, I did some tests. I was test rider for Ducati. I test MotoGP and I test especially Superbike. I did 2 years that I did some school. Yeah, I like to. One thing, you stop competing, you stop fighting
that last tenth of a second.
Last tenth of a second in the circuit. Other thing is enjoy. I mean, that's what I told you. No, competition is not a fun time sometimes. It's like I told you. Oh, you go to Everest, no, to climb the Everest. If I ask you, you enjoy?
Probably not.
Probably not every day, no.
Probably not.
Because it's 2 months maybe to reach the summit. But when you're in the summit and you look around, you say, wow.
This is amazing.
This gives sense to every day to catch this point, no? Sometimes competition is the same, no? Not like that, but testing or crashing and injury in the hospital when you get operation and many other things that it's not nice, but you want to be there, no? You want to reach that goal, no? And this is what gives you the motivation to be over all these moments. And I'm not complaining, I'm not saying it's very hard, but this is a little bit explanation what happened in our head. But this is our life, no? At the end, when I stop, then you have the freedom to do what you want with no responsibility to
only
be first or to be the last.
Fun.
And I learned when I started racing at the beginning, when I was very young, that I was just riding my bike because I want to enjoy. And this was a really nice part of my life. And I want to come back to when I was very child and doing just the thing just because I love to do it, no? And nobody will expect I'm finished first or 10 or no, it doesn't matter. It's just the most important is having good time in that moment, the pleasure to do something without the result, because the result kills you all the fun.
Let's say the pressure for the result.
Yeah, the result brings you the pressure, and and sometimes you need to digest all that emotion. But you don't have maybe the pressure is good, because sometimes you have the pressure to do something, it wake you up and put you in a good mode, no? But when the pressure is too much, then maybe it's not a good point. But the pressure, some doses of pressure, I think is necessary. And sometimes I try to, this weekend I go to cycling with the friends, we do a tour. And always I'm challenging myself, no, a little bit. But always thinking that I'm there just to have fun, to enjoy my time, and putting small doses of pressure, of course, because I want to have a little bit challenge as well.
That's what I was going to ask you, because you speak about having fun, but I think when you do a competition, even if you don't put yourself, big pressure and you don't think about the result, but it's still a competition, and you're probably a little part of your brain is still thinking, okay, maybe I can push a little bit more. Do you find that?
No, of course.
Right?
For me, to having fun is doing something.
It's pushing, isn't it?
Doing something difficult.
Yeah.
I always to have a challenge and to improve myself and to become better, no? And this is for me, in some way, to say having fun, no? Having fun or enjoying my time, no? And of course, I like to push my limits, but push my limits for myself, not because if I don't arrive to that second, I'm
then you
very
lose
bad.
A sponsor or
Because when you are in a competition, if you are 20 or you are 10 or you are different numbers, changed a lot, eh?
It does change
But
a lot.
now is a different approach, completely different approach. But of course, always with the challenge, with the mentality to challenge myself and to push my limits.
And how is the Dakar, the experience? Because it's completely different. It's
Yeah.
not just pushing, you need to push, you
It's
need to look at the
completely
route
different,
book, and
In the Dakar, I learned how to be fast going slow. No, I mean, and this is something that is for me is the complete different concept, because when I go on the motorbike, I fight for the last 10. But in the car, you need. I want to do it in motorbike, but I did some crashing, and I said no. I want now a part of my life to have the challenge, but also to
to
conserve
keep
my
your
body.
body. Huh? Because
And
I know many riders at this kind of age, or even younger, what they do is the opposite. They move from bike to car. So for you to start
Yep.
doing bike at this age would be
Yeah.
completely different from everyone else.
It's
let's say.
difficult to go in a race and don't race yourself.
True.
Then I know that I gonna push, and in some moment I gonna crash, and if you are unlucky, then you can get injured. Then I said, and then also the navigation, no?
Yep.
For me, the Dakar is completely different Dakar when you go in a car, when you go in a motorbike. The most difficult and most hard is motorbike. The car, you have the co-driver that gives you the indications. You are in a, I don't want to say in a safe
No, but more
area,
protected.
but more protected. And I feel that I can push. Okay, maybe I can damage the car. We can hit, but will be much more difficult to get injured. And also, you keep your focus in look and go, no, and drive. In motorbike, you need to look, and then the car also you need to be navigation. At the same time, the concept is you go fast as your navigation. You know what I mean? Especially
Yeah.
motorbike. Then you need to learn and you work a lot in the navigation. This is very important to conserve also the car when I was racing, because you cannot go full gas all the time, because the car you will damage. You need to conserve. Then your riding must be conservative. Your riding must be patient, because you need to know where you're going. And sometimes you need to give time to navigation, because you can get lost. Then you learn a lot about different approach of complete different race. But I like it. For me, it was fantastic experience. I did the first year that we make some mistakes. The second year I think was very good, and we finished in a good position, considering the team and the possibilities we had. And I really, really enjoy. And for me, it was something I had in my mind that I want to do it. I get it, I do it, and it's something that I was able, and I had the opportunity to make it, and I'm really satisfied.
It's great that you had that opportunity to do it, because I think Dakar is a very, very special
Yeah.
event. So, Carlos, looking into shorter questions about your career a little bit. Let's start with favorite track, favorite circuit, and least favorite circuit. What would you say?
Well, the track I really feel. First of all, I like when it's left, turning left, and I feel very well in America, in Salt Lake City, also Phillip Island. I like, but I don't know what magic thing happening in Salt Lake City in Miller Motorsport.
I remember that weekend. That was
That
crazy.
from the first day I was there, I was always one of the fastest, no? Then I feel like home there. Then I don't want to say it's the best circuit, because all the circuits have his own particularity. Probably one of the most complex and more difficult when I arrived was the Suzuka, Japan, because very technical and takes some time to be fast in a circuit like that. And the circuit like Les, I don't know if it was the answer.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like all, but
Good answer.
but I don't know. Maybe Nürburgring,
Okay.
Germany,
Yeah.
because or Monza, because it's straight, chicane, straight,
Yeah, that's
turn,
that's
go.
not so interesting for a bike.
Yeah, maybe Monza and Nürburgring, that I did only 2 or 3 years.
And then best moment and worst moment of your career?
Well, I think the best moment will never arrive with the bad moment. Then I think it's all a group of situations that bring me good and bad, and part of
It's all part of
my
the
process.
story?
It's part of the process. But of course, the bad moments is when I had the accident in England, that I lost the sprint, and that for me broke really good progression. I was second in the championship behind Mick Doohan, and that accident mentally and physically put me in a different level and takes me a long time to recover. And the best moments I had many. Maybe to winning the championship give sense to all the rest, no? And finally, okay, I can close the cycle, no? Because I did a long experience, long career, but with any title, important title, is not the same. But as I told you, is a part of the process, and finally arrive at that moment. And because all the other years help to be there, especially 2010. 2010, we grow up and we prepare to winning in 2011.
And now you were talking before about, that you need to see, we talk a lot about the small victories and being positive. And I think that in recent years, the fans have seen this side of you a lot, because when you're on TV, I think you're known for having a very good sense of humor. And my question is is that part of it? Does this come naturally to you? Is this something that it just comes to your mind in any time?
Well, sometimes it's natural, and then the people from the TV, they said, no, this is good, no, it's
good
nice
TV.
that you are natural, and sometimes it's came something that you want to say, just saying, no? And I like to smile. I like to be positive. I like the sense of humor. I think it's the best medicine in any situation. And if you can smile from any situation, I think is very good. And always try finding the humor or the funny part, even if the situation is a little bit dramatic, no? Then I think it's the best part to take over, no? And I like to be happy. I like to smile. And if it's possible, I want to keep that for a long time, no? I have many friends that always smiling, always positive, and I think it's a good way to approach situations in life.
I think that's the best way, actually.
Yeah, it is. I don't know other.
I think it's the way. Yes.
I like to keep that.
So, Carlos, I always ask our guests to talk for the people in the future a little bit. So, my question for you is, as I always ask, what would be your advice for people who want to go into motorsport? Maybe with riders, maybe with young kids who want to follow your footsteps, who want to do what you did and want to race. What advice would you give them?
Well, just believe in yourself. Try to work as much as possible, because if not, your rival will do, and maybe you will miss the opportunity. And if, as much as you can, try to be with the professional people around you. This is very important. Learn a lot, and try to don't. Maybe the bad moments, try to smile also in the bad moments, and always looking the strong focus that is to be the best, no? But if you don't reach at the end, you don't need to feel worse, you know. I think it's a kind of learning process, personal and professional, and just to try to be focused all the time and learning a lot and believing in yourself and what you want to achieve. And I don't know what else, no? But because it's quite an emotional sport, and you can explain and transfer understanding, but not emotions.
True.
And at the end, if that emotion is not inside you, I know many riders that have a strong wish to win. And I know other ones with the same talent that don't have that. And then the difference is amazing at the end, no? What can get one, can get the other. Then, but sometimes the people who is working, the people who believe in himself, even they have the best talent, sometimes they arrive even longer than others, no? Then it must be a combination of both things. But nothing is free, and you are not able to know everything from the first day. Then it's a process, and at the end I will say enjoy the process.
I think that's the best advice,
Yeah.
enjoying the process and keeping a smile on your face.
Yeah.
Carlos, thank you very much for
Welcome.
accompanying us today.
A pleasure.
It's been a super pleasure, and we wish you the best of luck for the future, for the fun that you want to have, the smiles that you want to keep, and the motorsport that hopefully will accompany you for a long time.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you very much, and we hope that you enjoyed it as well with us. And look forward for the next one, because we're starting the second half of the F4 Milestones, the Countdown 2025, and believe me, it's going to be just as good.